All right, how's everybody doing this weekend? No doubt we can see that there's a lot going on when it comes down to crypto. XRP's been making some moves. It started right here at $2.22 around 8 o'clock. But if you notice right here at 10:15 a.m., it went from 222 all the way to $2.65. Then of course we had some pullback, but then it went all the way back up by 11:35 a.m. to $2.97. Of course we had some droppage. It's at 294 at around 12:50, and then now it's around 8:43 p.m. and it's at $2.81. So we see a lot going on with XRP. Now let's get into the news and see exactly why this is happening. If you look at the news right here at the NASDAQ news from 2 hours ago, why Bitcoin, XRP, and Cardano led a crypto explosion today. States that the crypto market was on fire in Sunday trading after President Trump said he wants to create a crypto strategic reserve. This is something the industry hoped for. So let's go deeper into that and see exactly what's happening with this NASDAQ news. And it says right here that this is something that the industry hoped for. And then it talks about how it's moving closer to reality. The biggest moves were tokens that could see huge buying pressure if a crypto reserve is created. In the last 24 hours, Cardano is up 60.6%. XRP jumped 31.7%, and Solana was up 22.6% after being explicitly named as part of the crypto reserve. So that's something to look at right there, talking about there being an actual crypto reserve. Then it makes you wonder, well, I wonder who's actually going to be in charge of the crypto reserve. How does that even work, and how do you even pull from the crypto reserve? And if you own crypto right now, what does that mean for what you own? Well, let's look right up here, the XRP USD stock forecast. Let's see what that says. All right, let's go down here. And we can see right there that that was not a real link. Here we go. What we know about the crypto strategic reserve. What we know right now is that, of course, the president has asked his presidential working group to move forward with a crypto strategic reserve. That would include the tokens above. Early reporting indicates that the government may simply keep the tokens it has seized as part of law enforcement activity rather than buying anything. The U.S. government is also already one of the largest holders of Bitcoin, for example. So basically, they're putting worth in the cryptocurrencies. Now, as far as the challenges ahead, cryptocurrencies have been extremely volatile over the past 5 years, following the price of growth stocks more than inflation of any hedge to the economy. And in the last few weeks, the market has moved lower because economic indicators are showing early signs of economic weakness and even the potential of a decline in GDP, according to Atlantis Fed's GDP Now estimate. So that's something. And then it actually goes deeper into the volatility. It says that it is volatility that could end up hurting the argument for a crypto reserve. Plus, ownership of most of these tokens is highly concentrated among a few people or institutions. Yeah, but at the same time, that's usually how stocks go, aren't they? If you look at an actual stock and look who holds it, most of the money is usually held by shares are held by hedge funds anyway. Let's take a look at what's going on with NVIDIA as far as XRP. It says, consider when NVIDIA made this list on April the 15th, 2005. If you invested 1,000 at that time of their recommendation, you have $765,576. I mean, it sounds good, but hindsight's 2020, as they say. But that's just something to look at when it comes down to what's going on with the crypto. But at the end of the day, it's a lot more happening as well. Matter of fact, it says right here this week in crypto games, major off the grid update, GameStop's 5 billion Bitcoin proposal. Okay, so GameStop's getting in the game. No pun intended. It says this week in crypto games, major off the grid update, GameStop's 5 billion Bitcoin proposal. Let's see what we're talking about here. The crypto and NFT gaming space is busier than ever lately, with prominent games starting to be released, token airdrops piling up, and a seemingly constant array of other things happening at all times. So let's look and see what that has to do with crypto. It says off the grid upgrade, popular Avalanche's shooter Off the Grid has released what it is branding as its biggest update ever by unlocking a region of the map, adding a new cyberlimb into the game along with a fresh street event. Okay, so it's talking about the Off the Grid video game. But what does crypto have to do with that? Here we go. GameStop CEO Bitcoin response. Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop, acknowledges a proposal from Strive Asset Management recommending that the video game retailer convert 5 million from its cash reserve into Bitcoin. This move, Strive claims, would turn GameStop into the premier Bitcoin treasury company in the gaming sector. So they want to start using Bitcoin for gaming and things like that. Basically making it probably so that you can go ahead and purchase in-game assets and things like that with Bitcoin. So that's one thing to look at. So if we go to the cryptocurrency, let's look at how everything's doing in there in the first place. Let's take a look over here. Go down here to actual cryptos. We got the altcoins, tradable crypto. Let's look at newly listed crypto. Let's look at the tradable crypto and see what we got. All right. Explore crypto. You can trade on Robinhood. State restrictions apply. That's interesting. You cannot get into crypto right now. Let me look at the altcoins. Here we go. So right now we have Dogecoin at 23 cents. It was just at 20 cents, so we can definitely see a jump up right there. Yeah, Litecoin at 127. It was just at 118. Hit a high of 129. And then if you come down here, you got Compound. Compound started at 49 and eventually got to 55. That's one of those things. If you bought it when it hit the low, which a lot of people probably should have, then you definitely made some money off of crypto. It's interesting how Robinhood is kind of switching up how you can go to crypto. Because it used to be you could click on this right here and all the crypto would just come up, but apparently that's changed now. So anyhow, let's go back over here and let's take a look at some more altcoins. Newly listed crypto. Of course, you got Bonk. I got the XRP. One of the ones I do like is Solana. Solana is actually one of the more expensive cryptos, but at the same time, it trades the closest to a regular stock just because it just doesn't go back and forth when it comes to cents. You know, went from 140 to 178, but it's been moving like that for a while. Even if you go back here, let's just say 1 week ago, 162, 135, 144. So even when crypto was crashing, people were still making money with Solana. So that's one of those cryptos that doesn't, something you can kind of trade the same way you would trade a regular stock. And let's see, what else do we have going on here? Another one a lot of people like to trade is the pharmaceuticals. Let's take a look at that. Big Pharma, what's up? Of course, you got your Eli Lillies and things like that. But let's go and see what's doing the best today. Alright, so we got Olema Pharmaceuticals is at $4.69 right now. It actually just jumped up from $4.37. Now, the interesting thing about this is you can't really do anything with it right now because the market hasn't opened. It doesn't open till tomorrow, so this could probably drop easily. Now, one thing about Robinhood is if you really want to see, the candlesticks and everything that's going on with this, you go ahead and hit those triangles right there. Go to the right, hit the candlesticks, and you can actually see some of the technical data and everything that's going on with this. Makes a little bit more sense. So right here, we got our MACD at the bottom. You can see what MACD's got going on. You got your RSI, and of course, you got all your candles, your dojis, all that good stuff. Now, if we look at the history of Olema Pharmaceuticals, just from this line diagram, it's been trending downward, but it's starting to go back up. But just looking at it, let's just pick a random day. Let's just say February the 26th. If you go back to the beginning of that day, about 468, 467, 457, 469, 62, it's been kind of going downhill. 444, 438. I'd probably leave that alone. That's one of those ones where you probably end up losing money. Let's see what else we got happening. We got Macrogenics. This one just shot up too recently, today, from 246 to 259. But then if we go back and we look at how it's been trending, this is another one. It's at 349 at one point in time, so it's just constantly dropping. This is the ones maybe you can catch in a pullback, but you got to be careful because in no time it's going to go right back down. But I also have my scanners right here. And of course, everybody likes to look at the big dogs. So let's go ahead and take a look at the big dog stocks. These are your Robinhoods, Alphabets, Supermicro Computers, Intel, Taiwan Semiconductors, Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, AMD. Now I'm an AMD shrill. I'm not afraid to admit it. Right now it's resting at about 100. Sometimes it goes down about $99. I'm waiting it to get back to that 111, 115 mark that we're used to. I think because of that crash, because of the news that was going on about AI and everything with DeepSeek, it kind of fell. But we can definitely see it trending in a positive direction. See if we have any news going on recently about this. 12 hours ago, Guru Fundamental Report for AMD, Martin Zwick. Let's see what he's talking about. It says right here, AMD rates highest using our growth investor model based on the the published strategy of Martin Zewig. This strategy looks for growth stocks with persistent acceleration, earnings, and sales growth, reasonable valuations, and low debt. Advanced Micro Devices, or AMD, is a large cap growth stock in the semiconductor industry. The ratings using this strategy is 46% based on the firm's underlying fundamentals and the stock's valuation. A score of 80% or above typically indicates that the strategy has some interest, and the stock and the score above 90% typically indicates strong interest. So that's just something to look for as far as AMD. I know it's not NVIDIA, so it's not considered like, top of the line, but at the same time, they just came out with that graphics card, so that may be something that we want to look at also. But yep, so there's definitely a lot of things that we can look at for this upcoming week when it comes to how we're going to go about trading. I also have a small caps sector that I like to play around with as well. Main one being IQIY. Now, IQIY is considered to be the Netflix of China. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon, and it's still small. So it's something that you could probably make a little bit of money with. Right now it likes to bottom out at around 208, and it likes to go up to somewhere between 210 and 215. So that's one of those things where if you set your buy for around $2.08, and then just make sure you're out somewhere between 214 and 215, you could definitely do some things with it. Now let's take a look at some of the specifics about it. It has a market cap of about $2 billion. Even the high today was at 215. Low today 206. So you see it doesn't get too low under that 208 area. Open price 208. Volume $24.77 million. Or 24 million and 77. Average volume 36.94 million. No dividends. Price earnings ratio 18.84. So it's just something to look at. Of course, this is not any type of financial advice, so please don't think I'm here as a professional. I'm just showing you what the market's showing me, and that's pretty much it. Another one a lot of people like to look at is that's actually doing pretty good is SoundHound. SoundHound AI. Now they just got marked up to category A stock, so they're turning into a big dog. They're in their rags to riches story right now. I think let me see. Just early last week it was around $8.81, and then that thing shot all the way up and pretty much hit around $10.88. So some people definitely came off good on that. Market cap being $4.27 billion. High today $10.95. Today's low $8.96. So you can definitely see some good volatility going on there. Price earnings ratio negative $11.05. Volume 89.48 million. Average volume 63 million. Latest news. Meet the supercharged growth stock that could make you a millionaire. Let's take a look at that. Now this is from the Motley Fool. And it says, if you're like most investors, you're not starting out with a ton of money. If you're going to achieve the dream of becoming a millionaire, then you're going to need to do just a little at a time, using a bit of your income that isn't consumed by life's ordinary expenses. You also probably know that investing in stocks is the only way to meaningfully and reliably outpace the impact of inflation. The S&P 500's average annual return is in the ballpark of 10%. So what does this have to do with SoundHound AI? Well, it wouldn't be surprising, as it states right here, if you hadn't. It's neither a big nor high profile as AI tech titans as Nvidia or Microsoft. SoundHound's market capitalization is a much more modest $3.8 billion stock right now. It just doesn't turn many heads, and there's a good chance, however, that you've used its technology without even realizing it. SoundHound's top skill is turning the spoken word into automated and actionable digital information. It simplifies and speeds up fast food drive-through ordering, allows automobiles to accept drivers' voice-activated commands, and can turn a house into a true smart home operated by the resident's spoken instructions. So if you ever went through a drive-through and you start talking to that AI voice first before you even speak to a person, then that's basically what they're saying is SoundHound. So we can definitely see that that's something that's still in the beginnings of its functionality, but it's definitely something to look at. It's still a young stock. It's between $8 and $10, but there's definitely growth potential there. That may be something that I'll look at, this week coming up as well. Well, that's pretty much it. Don't really have any much more to go on. Definitely check us out over here at Mike Dub 27 on trading and gaming, and keep trading, and we're just going to keep on pushing forward. Everybody have a nice weekend and enjoy your week. Deuces.